It takes a minimum of a year if you were to build your own independent home on a plot, and that too if you're lucky with the contractor, the approvals, regulations and whatnot. Now if it's a high-rise project that you bought into, it can easily take 4 to 5 years before you get possession. What can make this process faster and more efficient is a 3D technology in construction. Let's introduce you to Tvasta, a Chennai-based startup housed at IIT Madras, which is leveraging automation and robotics for a faster and more sustainable construction process compared to conventional methods. Tushar Joshi, he's the director at this company, joins us. Tushar, I hope you have an easier name because I have to really repeat it a couple of times to get it right. But tell me, everyone knows about 3D printing technology for building homes. We've seen them on Instagram and in news, but no one really understands how are they done. So run us through the basics.
Yeah, sure. No problem. So 3D printing is nothing but called as additive manufacturing process, where if you want to manufacture something, it does in a layer by layer fashion here. So whenever we are depositing the material, it first deposits in a first layer and then the nozzle gets up and then it deposits the second layer on top of the first layer. And that's how the 3D model generally works. And in construction 3D printing as well, this is the same technology that we use, where we have created a special concrete mix, and this mix is pumped to the printer and it comes out of the nozzle. But before that, our architects first make the 3D model of the house or any structure which we want to print. And then this 3D model, we input it to the slicer software, which generally commands and communicates with the printer. And then this slicer software generally chops down the entire 3D model into the layer by layer fashion. And that's how it commands printer to move into the XYZ direction. And that's how the printing goes.
Okay. So you pretty much get an entire house.
Yeah, we can generally print the entire house, villas, multi-story apartments, etc.
All right. And this is, when we say printing, these are actually things that you can then just assemble there, right?
Yeah, so it generally goes into two ways. For Indian market specifically, we have come up with the off-site 3D printing technology, where we can print the wall modules in a factory and we can assemble these modules at the site. Whereas there is a second version of it, which is called as on-site 3D printing, where we take the entire printer to the site, we assemble the printer to the site, and we print the entire house at the site itself.
Entire house. All right.
Yeah.
How is it more efficient than conventional technology? Can you quickly run us through that? Is it cheaper as well?
Yeah, so if you look at it from a holistic perspective, it will be much more affordable with respect to the conventional houses, saying that because the time, which as you rightly said at the beginning, it takes almost a year to build one house and then a couple of more years for possession. With respect to 3D printing, we can actually build a house in 15 to 20 days. So there is a lot of opportunity cost saving that goes there. Second thing is it's an automated process. So whereas you don't have to heavily dependent on the labor situation, it is completely automated, and then the designs are completely customized. Also, one more unique advantage of this technology is this is way more sustainable. So you don't end up spending a lot on energy inside the house or the structure over the period of its life. So,
and zero waste of material as well. I mean, a lot of times you waste so much during construction. Why is it not more widely adopted in India? Where is the concern in people's mind? Or globally as well? I mean, why would we still use traditional conventional methods and not all of us go to 3D? There has to be something.
Right, yeah. So it's so we are thinking that it's still in its nascent stage at this moment, whereas a lot of 3D printing companies are doing a lot of research on it to make it more optimized for the end user. For Indian market, what we have as our vision is that we'll be having a lot of franchisee partners across India. And then these franchisee partners will be working with the end user, whereas we'll be providing them the tech stack. Currently, we own around 8 to 10 printers with us with a different technologies, and then these printers will be dispatched entire India, and then this franchisee partners will be executing this
project. All right, so that's independent homes. Can high-rise buildings be done with it, or that's too much of a challenge right now?
Yeah, good question. So we can actually go for G+3 at this moment. We are also working with the government to come up with the codes for 3D printing technology, since there are just conventional codes at this moment, and Indian government is very kind to help us with this. So with once the code comes in, we can definitely start for G+3 and much more than that. This year, we are going to execute G+1 and G+2 structure.
All right, Tushar, thank you very much for explaining to us what 3D printing can do for the construction sector. Well, we absolutely love proptech and its potential to make real estate more sustainable and more efficient, as you heard. See you again next week with another young company in focus bringing the much needed change. I'm Manisha Natarajan signing off.